we are going to be building the all fantasy bus team, and we'll just do it together. We'll kind of come to an agreement. We'll do quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, and 1 flex we'll do for the sake of time. So starting at the quarterback position, I'll throw 2 guys out there. I think it's pretty obviously a 2-man race here. It's Patrick Mahomes and Anthony Richardson.
Yep.
I'm okay with whichever one you guys want to choose.
Really?
It's AR because
Mahomes was taken higher.
But AR was about, what, a round or 2 later, and now he's not playing.
He might lose his job.
He might lose his fucking job.
Yeah, that's pretty
Which, like, at least Mahomes is playing. You're likely, like, if his name wasn't Patrick Mahomes, you're probably dropping him.
So that's what I was going to say is Mahomes is like a guy that you're not, like, a lot of people are struggling to bench him.
Yeah.
And, like, I wouldn't at this point.
It doesn't make sense to me. Even in general, like, bro, this year when everybody was drafting, a lot of people were taking Mahomes, like...
I'm looking at a draft now. You got Mahomes.
I don't know, man. Like, he's the best fucking quarterback, but, like, a fantasy quarterback is different
Mahomes going over Lamar.
from like, a talented quarterback. Like, I want Patrick Mahomes on my team IRL.
He did here.
Like, I want Patrick Mahomes on my team IRL. Like, if I'm playing, like, and I'm blocking for a quarterback, I want to be blocking for Mahomes.
Consensus QB3 in fantasy.
I had him as the fucking QB2 in fantasy,
it was,
bro.
Allen Hurts,
Mahomes.
It didn't even make sense.
And now
before.
it doesn't. It definitely doesn't help, especially for us this season. Even though this is to this point, Rashee Rice being down, like, it
didn't
hurts.
matter.
Yeah.
He could have had everybody. And
Yeah, but he didn't put up a good fantasy.
No,
day.
that's my point. Is like it didn't matter. He was never gonna put.
Yeah,
He hasn't put up
yeah,
20
you're right.
since like week 6 of last year.
It's been a long fucking time.
a long
dude.
time.
I'm more disappointed in Mahomes, but the fact that at least he's gonna have a chance
Yes.
to
He has a
turn
high
it around.
floor.
Yeah, and just the fact
Does
that
he though?
12, 14 points. I mean,
That's not a high floor.
I mean, some of these guys putting up donuts. You know, like
yeah,
for a
you're
top-tier
rarely
quarterback,
you're
I
not
don't
gonna
know.
get like a 5-point game like
you
Sam Darnold
guaranteed
had from
14
Patrick
points for me
Mahomes.
every week. Which
I guess, yeah.
you know,
That's
like
true.
it's not
Yeah.
It's not great.
You're
but
not looking at it and saying this is going to lose me a game.
Yeah,
Right.
and at the end of the
Yeah.
day, he's the starting quarterback, and will he turn it around? I don't know. But the possibility is there,
possibility's
so
always
in
there.
my opinion,
Yes.
I'd rather roster Patrick Mahomes, so my vote would be for AR here to
I
be the
agree.
quarterback for
Yeah,
us.
I'll go AR.
We're in agreement there?
AR, yeah.
All right. RB, we'll just do RB1 and 2 together. I'm going to throw out 3 names that I thought about before this, if you guys want to throw some names in there too. The first 2 names, I think they're pretty obvious. They were going as the running back 2 and 3 in drafts. It's Bijan and Breece Hall.
Yeah.
And I think you can make the case for either one here.
Put them together.
And then if you want to make them the RB1 and 2 for the team, sure. The other name that I wanted to throw out there, because he wasn't drafted as high, but this is a guy that I missed on too so bad, which makes me want to just put him on the bus team. He was going in the second round. It's Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
And the thing of why, same reason for why I vote Anthony Richardson. I don't know who I'd vote him over on this team between Bijan and Breece, but the fact that he's basically losing his job makes me want to put Etienne on the team.
So I'll say I'd pick either or of Bijan or Breece for an RB1 because I still want to highlight someone else for an RB2 situation. And I wouldn't pick Etienne because Etienne isn't also losing you weeks. I'd say because for the most part this season, Etienne's been sitting around that 10 to 15 point range. But that's not what you drafted him for. A guy that's losing you weeks is Rachaad
That's
White.
exactly where I was going. Yeah.
Rachaad White is, in my opinion, probably the biggest bust in fantasy football because in the same vein that we just talked about AR losing his job, Rachaad White's biggest superpower in fantasy football was the volume and the receiving work. And he's starting to lose a lot of that week by week to Bucky Irving. Hence why I say Rachaad White is the biggest bust in fantasy football.
I'd be okay with doing Etienne and White on the team and leaving Bijan and Breece out.
I like
Bijan's
Rashad.
been putting up good floor
Bijan's
games.
not losing you
Yeah,
weeks.
Bijan's been putting up good floor
But
games.
as a Bijan owner, he's
It
pissing me the
stinks.
fuck
it
off.
stinks, and it's just like I can't trade him because
No.
his value's at the
Yep.
lowest. You just got to write it out. But again, he's putting up a really high floor output. Even in a game last week on last Thursday where he was pretty phased out of the game. He still put up? He still
12,
gave you
I think.
12
12
points.
and a half.
10.7.
He still gave you
Oh,
10
did he?
points,
Ah,
which.
God.
Like, if that's his worst game, I'm going to take that. I look at a guy like Travis Etienne who, sure, he's been doing pretty similar things so far, 10, 12 points, whatever it is. but his snaps are going down and down and down and down. And I know Algiers involved in Atlanta, but Bijan's obviously still the better player. And Bijan,
I would go Brees over Bijan.
yeah, and in terms of the bus.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
I don't know.
I think there's room for Brees to turn it around, but also, I mean, Braylon Allen's there, and Braylon Allen's better than Tyler Algier.
Yeah, I guess because
I just think those guys, like,
four
I know
games for Brees.
through where we're at right
Well,
now.
4 games for Brees are 6 points and 3 points.
Yeah, I know. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah,
it's-
that's what I'm
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Bijan has
I
a safer
agree.
floor right now.
It's kind of just been it's more than of a disaster. It's more been like, Braylon coming in, like more eyes on him. Then you got Aaron Rodgers wanting to show Garrett Wilson a lot of love, and
I think the
Lazard a
Jets
lot
are
of
just a
love,
bad
and,
run
and Mike
offense.
Williams. It's like just too much loose screws in the team that like it doesn't even give Brees the opportunity to prevail.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so Rashad White's a lock for us.
RB2, yeah.
We're eliminating Bijan. We're cool with eliminating
I go
him from the
Brees is
conversation.
my vote.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we're between Brees and Travis Etienne. I'm for Travis Etienne here.
I'm for Brees. Where
Brees?
you drafted him as opposed to
All right, so
what
we'll
you're
throw.
getting
So our
from him.
running backs will be Brees and Rashad White. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think we're getting way too little out of Brees before we drafted him.
Yeah, 100%. All right,
enough. Okay.
moving on to the receivers, and we could throw one of these running backs we mentioned on the flex if we want to.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to receivers, I didn't have any names prepped for this, so if you guys want to throw some names out there,
Yeah, in terms of a bust, I mean,
I'll tell
Debo
you right now, I
Samuel.
think Tyreek
Got
Hill
hurt,
is
I
the biggest
guess.
bust in fantasy football,
Oh.
point blank, period.
oh hell yeah,
yeah, I took him
Tyreek Hill's
101.
locked. Tyreek Hill's locked.
It's,
Tyreek
and
Hill.
it's not even his fault
It's not
either.
his fault.
Not.
It's not even
but
his
call a
fault.
spade a spade. It's Tyreek
the only thing
Hill.
I'll say about Tyreek Hill is like Tua is coming back, and
Talk
I
Tua?
think then he pretty much goes back. Hopefully, the Tyreek you expected, but yeah, for now, I mean,
Yeah, Tyreek got to be a lock.
he's the
on team.
worst. You can't play him, but you don't want to bench him
Shit,
either.
do we double up on
I was
Dolphins
about to say that.
receivers?
Jalen
I was
Waddle.
about to say
Yeah,
that.
bro.
It's been bad for
But
like
it's
it's been
fucked up
bad
'cause
for
it's not even
Tyreek, but
them.
it's been even worse for Waddle.
Or you could take Brandon Ayuk.
But he
Aside
had a
from this
great
past week.
game this past week, you know.
That's what. Like I was
Oh.
gonna say Garrett Wilson, but he also had a
yeah,
phenomenal
those
game
guys
last
kind of
week.
eliminated
Bro,
themselves
but
from
prior
the
to this,
conversation.
Ayuk hadn't had a single game over 10 points in PPR. And you
As
drafted him
Waddle?
in the late second
Michael
or third
Pittman?
round.
Michael Pittman's a good shout. I'd put Waddle on the team over Pittman,
Oh, my God.
but I was like, again, might be personal bias, and
Waddle
I'm
had
setting
one
this
game
with me.
over
Waddle
10.
was my guy,
Waddle had one game over 10.
and what
I
was
had
it,
a higher
like
But you're
11 or
taking
12?
Waddle. But you're taking Waddle in like the fourth,
No, Waddle
late
like,
third, early,
Yeah,
late
Waddle,
third, early fourth.
Waddle in most leagues, like people were there on Waddle. So even if his ADP says fourth round, like in the leagues that I was in,
There are
like
people taking him in the
you had to draft in every league I was in. You had to draft Waddle in the third round if you
We'll
wanted.
double
him.
up on Dolphins.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I'm looking through. Dude, it's just them two.
It's them
Yeah.
too.
It's
Double up
literally
on
them too.
Dolphins. Yeah,
Yeah.
double up on Dolphins.
Tight end, we
All
don't
of
have
them?
to spend long here.
All of them?
Every single one of the highly drafted
It's-
tight ends.
Except for Kelsey.
No,
Mark
it's-
Andrews.
it's Sam
Mark
Laporta.
Andrews
Sam Laporta.
ultimately.
It's Sam Laporta.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Bro,
Yeah. I don't-
Mark Andrews gave
Mark
you two
Andrews.
Oh,
straight
yeah, yeah,
goose
yeah.
eggs.
Yep,
It's
yep,
one
yep.
guy.
It's got to be Mark
Yeah, you're
It's
damn
Andrews.
one
right.
guy. It's got to be Mark Andrews.
It's so upsetting, bro.
Sam Laporta like could at least give you 9
drafted him
points.
so
I
high,
know.
though,
I
like,
know.
Yeah.
Like the one league I got him way past Laporta. I got him way past ADP. I got Laporta in the 5th round in the league I
But
took him in,
to be
so.
honest, I feel like that's appropriate. You're talking about a tight
Bro,
end. Like
Mark
I know
Andrews?
he did the way he
Yeah.
did last year, but like
No, but people
It's a tight end.
Laporta's like ADP was like 2-3 turns.
I'm just
for
gonna
a
throw this
long
out
it was
here.
time.
ridiculous. I
I'm
didn't
just gonna
draft
throw
him in
this
one
out
league for that reason.
Yeah, I only drafted him where I got him in the 5th
Yeah.
round.
Porta has 26.7 fantasy points on the season. Mark Andrews has 22.
Drafted.
He's not that far ahead of him.
But that's because
one
of
more
last game.
One more game.
Right. Okay.
One more game
Wait.
for Andrews. Laporta just had a bye week.
Oh yeah.
Andrews has played 5 games.
Yeah.
Laporta's
Okay.
played
Okay.
4.
Right. Okay.
And bro, he had two.
He had 2 goose eggs.
Two
Yeah,
goose
that's
eggs.
Dog.
acceptable.
Goose egg.
The backup
He's
to
a
the
right tackle.
backup was scoring touchdowns.
He's a right tackle.
The backup to the back.
it's
that
Mark
was
Andrews.
like even he had his best game of the
So-
season, but the backup to the backup was
So
scoring the
I
touchdowns.
was driving from I was driving home while I was watching Red Zone for the most part, and I don't have Mark Andrews anywhere. Keep in mind, but I look down at my phone and I see a big white guy on the
We all
Ravens
did. We all
running
did
down
the
field.
same thing.
I'm like, holy shit, Mark, go! And then someone's and I'm like, wait, that wasn't Mark Andrews?
What's in Mark Andrews?
was
We
not.
all said that. Me and Trunks were like, said
Yeah.
the same thing.
Dude,
Bro, I
was
keep
watching
talking
that.
about him. I have him in my fucking best ball team that's in first place by a long shot right now.
man.
And I look at my team. I see Jaden Daniels. I see Kamara. I see James Cook. I see all
All these
Jamar
hits.
Chase, all these studs. And then I look at that tight end position, and I've gotten more, because it's best ball, you get the most points out of the position. I've gotten more points from fucking Jonnu Smith than I've gotten out of Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm in first place right now, and I'm gonna still have confidence, but like I'm going for that fucking #1 prize in Best Ball Mania, and it's just like this team has no chance, and it's only because of that. Like that's the handicap of my team, and
So
it's so
upsetting.
frustrating.
To this point, Andrews is 100% the lock.
Yeah, for sure.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I think there is.
No way.
I think it's someone's.
He
I think
looks-
it's someone's phone's flashlight.
He
fucking
still
with you.
looks good.
You know when you like bump into the
But he's-
curtain? Wait.
But the thing is, he's such a good blocker.
Hold up.
Yeah.
You know
Bro,
when you bump into
cannot start
good at
him.
it.
You all right? You want to
No, I
know
know,
what
I
that light
agree.
looked? You want to know what that light looked like? You know when you like bump into a curtain and then like one of them gets fucked up, so that and, like the whole room's dark, but that one flash of
One
light's
little
by.
ray.
Like
And
that's
immediately
the
goes
amount
away.
of fucking light I see.
Right.
That's about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Goose eggs is
It's rough, man. It's rough. It's so rough. And then
Flex spot.
flex.
so the guys we threw out, we had Travis Etienne mentioned,
Sam Laporta.
Sam Laporta's mentioned, and who were the receivers we mentioned? Pittman and Ayuk. How do we?
Pittman, Ayuk.
I'm good on Ayuk because I think he's.
I'm good on Ayuk. I'm pretty good on Pittman too. I know it hasn't been
Pittman got
great.
saved by Joe Flacco. coming
Yeah.
in, but or else he'd be a lock. But
Bro, the target shares, like I know it hasn't amounted to much, but at least he's getting the looks, you know. Like,
Laporta, they were taking him at the 2-3 turn, man. Like
I'm
Or I don't know if this one counts, but do we consider a Devontae Adams?
nah.
it's just so rough.
It's trade request. It's not even.
Yeah,
injury,
it's
really.
just like rough with him. Like,
But he's gonna get traded.
yeah. I mean,
Shit,
nah,
maybe
he's
not.
a good. I mean, I'd put Devontae on this team before Ayuk or Pittman.
Right.
Debo Samuel. But when he's played, he's been decent. But this past
Yeah.
week 3, and he missed the game. I would.
I think we picked between Laporta and Etienne.
Shit, I mean, I know he's been out, but throw AJ Brown out.
I mean,
there.
given where he was
Nah.
drafted,
That's brutal, bro.
given
Yeah,
where he was
No, it's
drafted,
just
I'm going
sad.
with.
It's just rough.
I'm going with Laporta.
Going with Laporta.
2-3
Yeah,
turn. I mean, I'm going with Laporta.
Yeah.
But then you can argue Ayuk too.
I'm good on Ayuk. I think he
Yeah,
had a
I'm
good
good
game
on
this week.
Ayuk.
I think he's
The game this week saved it. If we
Yeah.
did this last week, he
Yeah,
would have been
for
a
sure.
lock. But the game this week
For
saved
sure.
him. There are just guys who haven't done shit.
Okay.
You know what
Sam
I mean?
Laporta hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
2 weeks of Michael Pittman. The last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There are guys who haven't done shit.
Yeah.
So,
Sam Laporta,
Laporta,
has 26 points.
Pete Laporta, you're cool with that?
Oh hell yeah.
So our team is Anthony Richardson at quarterback, RB1 Brees Hall, RB2 Rashad White, doubled up on the Dolphins receivers, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, tight end Mark Andrews, and then our flex, another tight end, Sam Laporta.
Only because of draft position.
With my, I need to keep mentioning it just because it was my biggest miss of fantasy draft season with honorable mention to Travis Etienne. He needs to be mentioned in this conversation just because of the fact that he is literally losing his job game by game. Nah, he's had some good games.
Olave could be considered, but
Yeah.
This past week was just the disaster class of all disaster
He had-
Like, if
classes.
this past week didn't happen, I'm throwing Garrett.
bro,
Wilson
his
in there. It was
fucking
rough.
problem is the fact that he had
First
2
week, yeah.
3-point games. Outside of that, Olave's
The floor is
12.8,
low.
20.6, and 16.7.
Look, we can say we're disappointed with a lot of players that we drafted that we had high expectations for the season, but I think what we picked, considering the average draft position, was the right choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we could pick at fucking Chris Olave, we could pick at fucking Ayuk, this and that. Like, I think what we picked, like that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to, just because at this point through 5 weeks, there's some all the guys on our team, there's some highly drafted guys who have done absolutely nothing. So,
Right.
while, a guy like Ayuk, a guy like Chris Olave, they've at least helped you in some weeks. They've at least given you 1 week of helping you. And I
Yeah.
know Tyreek had 1 week of helping you, but it's been so fucking ass.
Yeah,
since then.
that was with
Like, it's been
a lot of context
he's
in that
losing
good
you
week.
weeks.
I got
So-
12 points from Tyreek this week, and I was thrilled.
Yeah, Brees Hall
Me
this
too.
past
I was
week
like,
is...
I'll
This
take
is
it.
just so funny. Jawan Jennings, the wide receiver, 12. Darnell Mooney, the wide receiver, 15.
Nuts,
Wide
Darnell's
receiver,
nuts.
17, Rashid Shaheed. 19, Wandale. 21, Alan Lazard. And 22,
Alec Pierce.
Alec Pierce.
Who I will never
just
pick up off
as
the
we
waivers.
all expected. Just
I will
as we
never
all
pick up
expected.
Alec Pierce and start him because He's going to get 3 targets.
And
but
Chuba
they might
Hubbard.
be the 3 coolest
And Jordan
targets.
Mason.
Yo, shout out Chuba.
You know
bro.
what's a
Six
terrible-
and 7 RB.
Shout out
You know
Chuba.
what? A
for
terrible
real.
sight to see is AJ Brown out, man. So
Well, he's back
terrible.
He's back.
now.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah,
He's back this
Get
week.
up. Yeah, really?
Yeah, he's
he's back.
playing.
All right, that's a good thing, man.
Chunks,
I
you,
love
you
Buzzard.
mentioned Olave. Any other honorable mentions? Any guys we haven't mentioned at all?
Your entire 0-5 team.
He's on 5. What league?
No, actually, this week I had the most points in the league, and I had
What?
for highest.
No
Get
fucking
outta
way.
here.
Oh yeah.
Get the fuck out of
Let's
here.
go.
Wait, you get 50 every week for being the highest paid
Highest-
team?
Yeah.
How much is his buy?
Wait, what was the buy-in?
25.
Oh.
I really wanted to win, so I worked.
Shit's balling.
Dude, I would
Hey,
have
you left
made
with
I would have made some
something.
coin this year. I was a top score. I was a top scorer in a couple leagues.
Hey, maybe the comeback's on the
I
way.
did. I would have
Chunks.
never seen that coming.
It's just that I had
Don't let him get one.
Free and Joe Mixon.
I'm in a league where it's
Mixon's
a
coming
payout
back. Should be coming
to
back. Should be coming
at the end of the year to the dude with the most points for the season.
I see. I like that because it
Yeah,
gives
I have
other
that
people
too, yeah.
incentive to
Yeah.
put their best.
Mine's it's $150 buy-in, but you get 100. So I mean, I kind of wanted it to be like get your full payout back, but like
Yeah.
I guess it's like a little something.
not
Like
nothing.
Yeah.
it's a half a bone.
Chunks, you have any mentions for us? Any shouts for the old bus team that we missed, or you think we got everything?
I think we
We
busted.
got
correctly.
we busted correctly.